Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed Dior, and this is Final Fantasy Tactics. For those who are not keeping track, this is post-commentary, unfortunately, due to mic issues. But I've just checked. Seems like my audio is okay. There might be some desyncs, but other than that, things will be going as normal. Anyway, I'm just showing off the rubber costume. I gave it to Forge. Giving He now has 8 movement, which means his throw range is also 8. So he's highly mobile and all that good stuff. Now I do know this upcoming fight is against assassins. So I do have a bunch of jade armlets equipped to give myself immunity to stop and petrify, which is I kind of over prepared for this fight to say the least. But I was really concerned about it because I didn't want to get hit with a bunch of freaking stats effects that are 100% hit chance and all that nonsense. But apparently that wasn't really an issue in this fight. Um, Besides that, there's not really much else to say. I was kind of tempted to take the team I took for the engineers, but I wanted to go ahead and vary things up a little bit. So um, this time I'm bringing Auric, who's equipped with, well, I check and notice I forgot to save his change for the abandon. So I had to go ahead and revert that real quick. But yeah, I'm bringing Auric with Abandon. So his evasion isn't as high because he is equipped with a Jade Armlet, which took away his, what do you call it, Feather Mantle. But besides Auric, I'm also going to be taking Mosh, Forge, and I believe I'm taking Mustadio. So a bunch of different people just to kind of change things up a little bit. This fight will be supposedly easier than the other one. There is a little bit of cheating, not too much. Well, I say not too much, but it's actually pretty much the standard. Um, they are immune to status effects, I'm pretty sure, and there is one particular assassin that is dual wielding crossbows, which you can't do in this. You're not supposed to be able to do. Um, I do like how it says it's underground, even though it doesn't even look remotely underground, and it's snowing, which isn't even remotely consistent, but whatever. It did split our formation up a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to move down to be with the main party. Um, Moving away tends to mess with the AI a little bit, so a number of these assassins will actually just not do anything, which is pretty impressive. But anyway, one thing that's kind of a saving grace for this particular fight is only one of the assassins actually has use hand. Everything else has precision. So it's hardly a threat in comparison to everything else. I think the only other thing I was concerned about was possibly battle skill if one of them happened to have battle skill, but mostly a mixture of standard stuff. Compared to the assassins we usually fight, these ones are not too bad at all. They do have 7 jump, which is pretty insane. But yeah, for this fight, I just wanted to try to get down to the corner and just kind of get in preparation. Since we don't have to deal with like a massive amount of ranged attacks or anything like that, I wasn't too worried about anything. Um, Especially since I just realized that only one of them has use hand. So really, a few things I'm right now trying to do is trying to figure out if I can actually hit anyone. But unfortunately, I couldn't really get in a position to do so. Yeah, I'm counting squares to see if I can actually get hit anything, but unfortunately they're just far enough back that like the actual buildings itself that they're standing on is in the way of the throw. So yeah, I can't hit anything. Everything's in the way. Sorry if there's no sound or anything like that. I had to mute it all because I was trying to do commentary throughout this. So unfortunately, it was all muffled and weird and cutting out on itself. So this battle shouldn't this battle and the next battle shouldn't take anywhere near as long as the previous one with the engineers. So just gonna kind of endure it. So due to the fact that she's dual crossbow, she's going to double Heartache Strike. And it silences and berserks, Auric, which now means he's out of my control, and his attack power has been greatly increased. Needless to say, they're probably going to regret that decision. So I didn't really want to push forward, so I went ahead and used this opportunity to go ahead and just get some buffs set up for everybody. Haste 2, of course, is always good. And you can see some of the assassins are just sitting in place. Their AI just can't handle this map for some reason. You can sometimes get that same effect in the engineer fight. Like if you back up right into the corner, into the far corner, they sometimes will just sit there and not do anything. Anyway, that assassin there is casting Haste 2. One of the assassins does have Time Magic, and the other one has White Magic. And that one's trying to do some magic MP damage, but fails. Even if she had hit, it would have done 173 MP, but Mosh actually has more than that, so Haste 2 would still have gone off. So yeah, all of these are immune to dark for some reason because they're cheaters. Right now, just figuring out which target I want to focus down first. I throw a Magic Shuriken and do some damage, which triggers Caution. So she's now defending, so her evasion's been increased. Unfortunately, Mustadio with the summon gun can't do as much damage. He doesn't really have high magic attack. But even the but I still prefer that over the freaking base gun, which only does about 64 damage. In any case, I'm seeing if I could do some, breaks. The one that's defending has higher evasion, so I can't really do much with that. But I can go ahead and break at least one of the crossbows, so she can't double hit strike anymore. Don't expect much from Beowulf, because of course Beowulf is slow and not very mobile. Now, unfortunately, due to the guard, she has really high evasion right now. It's doubled her evasion. She does have elf mantles equipped, so she has 25% base evasion from the sides at least. So, but as you can see, he's doing 300 damage with that spear, which is pretty impressive. At this point, I'm trying to figure out if I can get some actions off. There are some assassins that will act, but they're the ones that are really far away. So I kind of got some options. Unfortunately, I can't use Explosion for obvious reasons. They have black clothes equipped, which are black costumes equipped, which makes them immune to stop and fire, and they get healed by fire. Some Chain Lightning, which only hits one of them. She does have 25% magic evasion because of the Elf Mantle, so that's up to 50% thanks to the guard. Or defend, rather. For a change of pace, I went ahead and cast Leviathan. It does the exact same damage as Bahamut. It just happens to be water elemental. Or at least I will once I stop looking at all the other spells. Actually, I think I'm casting Bahamut. I don't remember which. Anyway, Forge has Concentrate, so defend doesn't do anything. Funny enough, I proc both times to stop bracelet, but she's immune, so it doesn't really matter. I try to get into position to go ahead and knock out some more gear off of the target I've been attacking, but I don't really have as much good luck. I think I aimed for the flash hat just so I can try to get some speed lowered, but no luck there. The assassins in the corner finally start moving, but at this point they're so far away. They do get hasted, but it's not a big deal. At this point I'll be finishing up 2 of them before they can actually do anything. And yep, Bahamut. The summons are pretty cool in this game. It's just unfortunately you end up just using the same one over and over again unless something has a weakness, which unfortunately there weren't very many weak points in the actual Final Fantasy Tactics game, and the patch version there sure as hell not that many weaknesses. I actually hit the defending assassin, which is really helpful because she's kind of a pain to deal with right now. Another heartache strike. I'm a little surprised that they're not actually doing damage. They're focusing on status effects. And unfortunately, Berserk Aura keeps going after the one that has high evasion. Not much I can do about it, though. I could remove the Berserk, but honestly, I kind of just let him do his thing. Anyway, she's casting... one of them's casting Cure, the other one's casting Haste 2 again. I go ahead and have Forge finish off the assassin we've been wailing on. So now she's been taken care of. She's the one that has battle skill, so I don't have to worry don't have to worry about our gear being broken. Yeah, the assassin's way too far away to do anything. So really, all I have to worry about is just making sure I do as much damage as possible while they're casting. I wanted to do Cyclops, but Cyclops want to have hit all 3 of them. Though, to be honest, in hindsight, I didn't actually need to hit all 3 of them. I go ahead and cast Leviathan for her change of pace. Beyond that, there's not really much I'm that concerned about. I go ahead and try to break another weapon just so I can keep them from double striking. Assuming they actually get an attack off. I keep checking the turn order because I don't want to get screwed over, but at this point I kind of have control over what's going on. Main thing is I need to kill the one assassin before the spells go off. And that's something I didn't really pay attention to when I decided to cast Leviathan. I should have just switched the Cyclops and went straight for the casters, simply because I had to go ahead and get the kill with somebody else before the cure goes off. So Chain Lightning, instant cast, deals with the problem. And the assassin just runs away. So she could have moved forward, but of course there was some AoE in the way as well. Beowulf is kind of confused as well and not really doing anything, but it's fine. So someone's just, stuck casting a spell. I went ahead and moved it in front since obviously attacking from the front doesn't really matter for Forge. A lot of them have counter throw, which is not exactly the best reaction ability. Oh, I cast Bahamut. I thought I cast Leviathan. Oops, whatever. Casters are great when they actually can, take time to actually cast spells. One of the assassins does have damage split, so half damage, all that nonsense. Not a big deal. We are so much in control right now. It's just ridiculous. And 540 damage. Bam. Now that was while she was casting, so that's why I did so much extra damage. Now, out of the ones I killed, I didn't actually kill the one that had used hand, so here comes Stop Bracelet, and there we go. Not a huge issue. It is a hasted Stop Bracelet character, but you kind of have control over everything at this point. So I'm trying to just do as much extra damage as I can before the next spell hits. Unfortunately, I had pretty bad luck with the summon gun. I summoned the weakest summoned every time. That and I kept proccing damage split, so I did even less damage. But I was really just trying to do every little bit of extra damage as I could. And I think at this point I was like, I could do a summon. Not gonna really do enough damage. And then I remembered that during my grinding session, I actually went ahead and taught Mosh Meteor, which is a time spell. It's the strongest time spell. Very expensive. Mass AoE does have friendly fire, but it does quite a bit of damage. It's also pretty impressive to look at. So yeah, that assassin didn't do anything the entire fight. It was actually pretty crazy. Um, so I need to make sure I revive Forge after the meteor hit. So I went and went with full life. Um, and more likely we'll definitely get to kill the assassin with the meteor. Except for one small thing. I do a little more damage with the gun to make sure I do enough damage to the meteor. But that ends up proving to not really matter in this case. Because I forgot about Auric, and Auric just wipes him out entirely. Or her out, rather. So Meteor's going to fall right on top of Auric, unfortunately. But we do get to take a look at the awesome spell that is Meteor. And he blocked it, because he has Abandon and all that evasion. Yeah, I even look. I was like, how much evasion does he have? He only had 20% evasion because he doesn't have the mantle equipped, but he does have Abandon, so it's 40% in total. So there's only one assassin left. There's not really anything I'm that worried about. We just gotta get that assassin to actually come towards us, which hopefully Beowulf will actually be bait for. Beowulf didn't do a single thing this entire fight, so no surprise there. But yeah, with the high movement rate, she is able to actually move in an attack. She actually does a time strike with only a 38% chance to hit. All right, the haste wore off, but at this point we are pretty much good to go. Ramses' spell finished just in time for him to take another action, but I didn't have really anything I wanted to do with him at this point. I thought about possibly letting the timers run out to see if there's anything good we can get from the assassins. I mean, technically, one of the assassin that has used hand could potentially know Ultima, but I don't really care. Also, I'm pretty sure I have to be whatever. Oh, and Berserk tends to do some broken AI stuff, so Auric just stabbed the ground. And despite the 38%, both attacks time strike hits actually connect, but it didn't actually kill Beowulf. So at this point, I think I use Leviathan just for a change of pace. Yeah, it's actually this is when I actually cast Leviathan. Though I considered throwing another meteor out there, but Leviathan's fast enough and it does more than enough damage to clean things up after I get one more shot in with Mustadio. So 58 damage. Then Leviathan on top of that should be more than enough. The summons are a little silly simply because it's just like a still frame sprite just floating in the air, but it's all good. So yeah, that was it. Like I said, this is probably one of the easier fights, especially if you become prepared. But we were over prepared for this fight. We did get a ribbon. Honestly, the ribbon's actually useless to us because at the very most, I can only have 4 female characters in one fight because Ramza takes a slot, and I already have 4 ribbons, so I could just sell that for like 30,000 gil if I need it, but not really needed. So I think I take a look at. I don't. Yeah, I might take a look at a few characters or whatever. But besides that, that's pretty much it for this video. So I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this was Final Fantasy Tactics. Once again, I apologize for all the technical issues. Next fight will be hopefully be the last one I have to do post commentary for. So see you then.